Welcome back. We have Professor Murrie here, who's a professor here at Pepperdine up in the Communications Division, and he's here today to talk to us about all of his deep sea diving adventures and experiences. So,
Good.
what exactly got you interested in it?
Oh, I'm actually a beginner at this. I've only been diving less than 3 years and really only been good enough to do any photography for about the last year. So, yeah, I guess a combination of experiences, snorkeling earlier and getting old and needing something to keep from getting old. So,
Where do you usually dive at? Around Malibu?
usually just off Malibu. Yeah. So, this do we got the whale?
We have the whale, I think, from last week. That we were
Yeah.
talking
So a
about.
couple of weeks ago, I was out with a friend and just down here at the bottom of the hill off Malibu Road and ran into this character. He was probably about 20, 25 feet.
Wow.
He's a young gray whale, and the guy I was with has been diving for years, decades. The first time he's run into one underwater. Interestingly, though, last week I went to my dive club back over in the valley, and there were two other guys who'd spotted gray whales in the previous month. One was had looked up, and there was one above
There was a
him.
whale above him.
Oh
Yeah, and
my
the other guy
gosh.
is sort of a hardcore guy who sees stuff and shoots stuff all the time. So
Yeah.
he sounded one at Point Doom. But
So, what is that like when you're underwater and you're next to this massive creature underwater?
Oh,
Like,
well,
what does that
Is
feel
it
like?
terrifying? I feel
no,
like
no,
it
it
would
was.
be.
I mean, my first thought was, is the camera on? Can I roll it?
How can I capture
I
this?
teach video production, so that's kind of one of the reasons I got interested. But it was a pretty dull dive until we saw this moving figure, and of course the visibility was pretty bad, as you can tell in the
Yeah.
video.
How did you tell it was? How could you recognize it as a whale?
But you know, once you see that fluke, it's pretty
Gotcha.
Oh,
obvious.
okay.
Yeah, there's some other video I think we've got too. This was shot just about 30 miles west of us in Anacapa. Oh, it has music, so we'll listen to the music.
So, wow,
Amazing.
that footage, I just can't believe you can capture that underwater. As a media production professor, do you have plans to do any type of media production with your diving? Is that what
this
you're-
all kind of started when I worked with a biology professor here named Karen Martin years ago on her interest in grunion, which come on the shore and breed.
Okay.
And so that sort of piqued my interest. I'm from the Midwest. I've only been out in California about a dozen years, so that piqued my interest in marine life.
Yeah.
And some other things led to this, to learning to dive and so forth.
So did you shoot all that footage with the GoPro?
No, well, the whale I shot with just a kind of a cheap GoPro light camera. It's
Okay.
actually
Like a
has a viewfinder.
waterproof. Okay.
Okay.
But this the seal dive was off a boat, and I could take a much more substantive casing and camera, and it's a lot less shaky. But yeah, if you go out and snorkel around Anacapa Island, which is the island closest to us, so the Channel Islands,
Okay.
it's not unusual to find them. That was shot at Cathedral Cove on actually 2 different occasions, but it's fun to go out there and snorkel or dive.
Did you ever think about the fact that great white sharks like eat seals?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that they're like in the
Yeah.
area?
As you're swimming through food.
As you're
and-
swimming through their food
Yeah,
and
I
videoing
mean,
them?
you know, we have great whites off Malibu once in a while, but the chances of that are pretty slim. There are a lot of other things that could happen that are more dangerous, that are more likely, like having a crash
Well,
on
if
the way
you
to the dive
ever
site.
if you ever see a great white shark, we'd love to see the footage. Make sure you capture that on camera
Oh,
for
okay.
us.
Yeah, okay.
Thank
Well,
you so much
Thank you for coming.
in
Okay.
today.